It's the day after part 1 was recorded, and I'm eager to get on to part 2. Really enjoyed doing part 1. That's why I haven't bothered ironing a shirt. I'm in the plain white t-shirt, and that's why the hair is like still wet from my shower. But we are gonna get on to part 2 because I am really eager to do it. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. So it's this that's causing our problems. The graphics card from my Mac. As you saw, my Mac was working perfectly with that other video adapter. So, I have been thinking a lot, and I stayed up very late looking online. My video was uploading, I was keeping an eye on it, and I was also browsing Google at a few things in relation to trying to fix video cards with homemade methods. So, I'm going to bake my card. Now then, a lot of you have probably heard of this, but a lot of you probably haven't at the same time. Basically, I'm going to remove the heatsink. Well, hopefully I can anyway, because I don't know, I've never removed this heatsink before, but anyway, it shouldn't be too difficult. I'm going to remove the heatsink, put my card in the oven, and bake it for maybe 7 or 8 minutes. They say 9 minutes, but I've got a fan-assisted oven, so it cooks things kind of quicker. And basically what it does is, if your card's faulty, if it's got a faulty solder joint, like if the solder's cracked in a certain place, then it melts it and can sometimes patch it up so the card works perfectly afterwards. So I think I've got to run the oven at 190 degrees Celsius or 200 degrees Celsius. I think that's about 380 degrees Fahrenheit for you people that use Fahrenheit. Don't know which countries that do, but anyway. But first I've got to take off the heatsink. So I am just going to do a little more research and make sure I'm doing the right thing. But I want to get this card working. I've got nothing to lose. You know, I didn't originally buy it, it was given to me, so it's not under warranty or anything, so I'm going to stick it in the oven and see if I can get it working. Hey guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have cleaned my keyboard a little bit. Not massively, but I did unplug it and take it down and give it a little bit of a clean, and it's looking a lot better because, you know, I didn't want you guys to be looking at my dirty keyboard because it was, some of you were getting really annoyed by it. But anyway, I'm going to get a slightly better angle actually. Okay, so you are mounted on the tripod in this angle that I really enjoy making videos at actually. It's a cool aerial shot of my desk. Here's the card, looking lovely I might add. Really kind donation. Check it out guys, cleaned my keyboard. Anyway, we're going to remove the heatsink. So, firstly, I'd say that this sort of retention bar needs to come off, and I'm going to be very careful because, well actually, first things first, I might as well unplug the fan. That's such a small connection. Oh. When you've got stubby fingers like me. Well, it looks like I'll have to unplug the fan after I take the heatsink off because the heatsink itself is in the way of me getting in there. So, I've got to be really careful with this because you need to use, obviously, the right size screwdriver for the card because I don't want to be stabbing the card like I nearly just did. Okay, so that's that off. There you go. Oops, that screw does actually come out of there, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay, so that's that out. And the only other screw on the card is here, so I gather you take this one out as well. Hello. Sorry about that little cut everyone, Leah phoned me, but anyway, let's get this heatsink off. Whoa, there's a little washer here. Lucky I... Whoa, just dropped that. Lucky I spied that. I'll keep that safe as well. Right then. The heatsink is well and truly off the card. Now hopefully I'll be able to unplug it. Well guys, that's finally off. That wasn't even a joke. That took ages to get off. Let's remove this thermal compound because we don't want to be baking that. Gotta leave it on there for a bit just so it covers the whole area. This stuff smells really nice. It smells like those orange hand wipes that you can get that like really clean out your hand. Here we go, that stuff's been on there a while. Let's wipe off the thermal grease. It's coming off really nicely. Going to need to apply one more dab over there, I believe. Yeah, we need to apply a little bit more. There we go. Really looking forward to seeing if this works, guys. There's a bit of a zoomed in shot of the card for you guys. Very different without the heatsink, of course. There we go, that's looking pretty clean, but the surrounding edges are a little covered, so I'm just scraping those off now. There we go. That'll do, it's good enough. Need to do the heatsink as well actually. Let's do that now. Ready for when we reapply some thermal grease. There's a lot on it, it's spread like mad. I love the way this liquid makes it run, like go all runny. I really like it. Okay, so let's see where we get with this. Oh, very gloopy. Loads of this stuff on here, guys. It'll be nice to apply a nice fresh coat. That'll probably help this video card stay cool as well. These fans are never the best, but this seems like a decent little heatsink. Bit more to get that last little stubborn layer off. Same as the card itself, it's sort of stuck around this square that presses against the GPU. Not too bad though, that'll do. Nice. Right then guys. Here's my card. Let's go and prepare it for the oven treatment. All prepared. Alright guys, this is kind of dramatic. You can see we're counting down here, but unfortunately there's no window in my oven, so I don't know if it's bursting into flames or not. Really excited, just want to test it out. Gotta wait for it to cool when it comes out as well. If you guys are wondering why I'm not using the stopwatch, it's because I have a continuous stopwatch that's been going since pretty much as soon as I bought the phone, maybe. So that's pretty cool. So that's why I never use the stopwatch, I always just use the timer. But I guess you use timers when you're cooking anyway, but I don't know. Ooh, really, really excited. These are my first attempts at the aluminium balls that have failed. A little bit too small, that one is, and then don't know why I didn't use this one, just... Ooh. Can barely speak straight, really excited, want this to work, hope it works. We're getting there, guys. Sorry about the shaky camera work, my hand's just shaking with excitement. Need to get the oven gloves. This is tense. It's nearly done, I'm gonna get it out. Here we go, everyone. Sorry about the camera. God, this stinks. You can see it's gone all shiny. Oh, really excited. Hope I haven't cooked it too much. Gonna wait for this to cool now. Oh, wicked. Absolutely boiling hot. I'll keep you updated. Here's the card post-baking. It took a little while to cool down. I'm not overly pleased. I know the success rate is a lot higher with newer cards, simply because they don't break when you bake them, but unfortunately, if you can see by that patch there and that patch there, both of these guys jumped off. Now then, one advantage to this, of course there's no particular advantage to this at all obviously, but one like silver lining I guess you could say is they are probably the biggest solder joints on the card. So I'm not going to test the card without them, because, you know, it's not going to work, is it? Let's face it. So, they're the biggest solder joints on the card. I don't see the problem in giving it the best shot in soldering the card. I mean, we got nothing to lose now. The bloody things are falling off, so might as well give it a go. Now, the only challenge I have is they fell off at a sort of angle, so I have no idea which orientation they are. So I'm going to try and find a high-res picture and I'll have a closer look at the card, see if that will reveal anything. So, stay tuned everyone, this is going to be dramatic. Right then everyone, it has been ages since the last update, but my dad has worked wonders. What the hell? Come on! Okay, cool. My dad has worked wonders with this card. Everything that dropped off in the oven is soldered back on. So in theory, if my solder trick has worked, not solder trick, oven trick has worked, then we should be back up and running. So I'm gonna put some of this, what do they call it, thermal surface purifier onto the chip. Apply several drops to the thermal and wipe gently with a lint 3 cloth. Cool. Put a couple of drops on it. There we go. 3 drops of that. I'm going to put one on the cooler as well, just might as well. I've got a tube of Arctic Silver 5 to pop back on this, ready to sort it out. There we go. Hopefully the surface is all purified, whatever that means. Ready for the reapplication of this cooler. So, I'll have to concentrate putting this back on so I don't smudge all the thermal grease and that. There are certain holes where these screws line up. One in the corner there. One down there. Okay. I've just spent so long on this card that I really don't want to mess it up, guys, so if I'm slow putting this back on, just bear with me. Right then, let's blob a bit of this on. Very sticky stuff, this. There we go. Should be enough. Of course, there will be comments saying, you put too much, or you didn't put enough. Because everyone has different opinions. I just kind of put the amount like on between everyone's opinion. It'll spread around when I press the cooler against it, hopefully. There's quite a mountain on there, so should be good. There was loads when I took it off anyway. So, there you go, that's on there. Now we have to flip it around to screw it in place. The oven did a number on some of these labels, guys. Quite funny actually when you think about it. Right then, first off we need that little washer and this bigger screw. Hopefully you guys have got a decent view of all this, and I hope you don't keep getting a glimpse of my head in shot, but I do have to look really closely because, as most of you can probably tell from pretty much all of my videos, I have really bad eyesight. So little screws and little graphics card components aren't my speciality. Can't feel if this is tightening yet. Ooh, and it is. Lovely. Cool, that's that screw on. And now we're going to do this one. These are really little. Really, really little. I haven't got long to be tinkering with this Mac, guys. I've got about an hour left today. I'm gonna go meet Leah and stuff, but I really want to get some progress, at least some progress. This screw is unbelievably small, I can't do anything with it. Come on. Success. I'm leaving that loose so that I can put the other one in, because you get quite a bit of tension when you screw these in, guys. Then I'll tighten the other one in the corner, plug the fan in, stick it in the computer and see if it powers up and gives us something decent on the screen. If it does, I'm literally gonna do a victory dance around the room, because this has taken up my entire day. There we go, that's that side really tight. Let's carry on tightening this side as the whole card flexes, but hey, these are the brackets they put on, so these are the brackets that I'll put back on. Cool, the cooler's on. Let's hope that thermal compound has spread. Let's get the fan plugged back in. That was a nightmare to unplug and all. There you have it. There's my card, ready to go back in the Mac. So, I'm going to lower the tripod, pull out the MDD and plug it in. Really hope this fires up, guys. I really, really do. Oh, and by the way, since baking, my ATI logo has gone quite brown. It looks quite white on the video, but it's gone brown and it's very sticky, which is cool. And the labels have sort of browned a little bit on the back of the card. But anyway, time to get out the Mac. There you go, guys. A nice high angle for you. Now, I'm really sorry about the lighting. This doesn't look half as good as when I was fiddling around in here in part 1 of the upgrade video. But we're not going to be in here for long, hopefully. Just literally going to plug the card in now. Here's the power cable that I forgot last time. And here's the card, so without further ado, let's stick it in. If this fires up, I'm going to be so relieved. Even though the baking trick only works like, apparently the card can die after like a month. But then I've seen other reports of people's cards lasting literally, well, some people say, I don't know if I believe them, but some people say that their cards are lasting 7, 8, 9 months after baking and they're absolutely fine. Which is extraordinary, you know. If this card lasts a couple of months after baking, that's great. I've got time to save up for another X800 XT. But the price of them on eBay is just ridiculous. I can only find one in Australia at the moment, and that's £100 buy it now, which, okay, is expensive, considering in the PC world this card is naff, but in the PowerMac world, this card is basically the shiz. So yeah, people are really after it, but Australia postage is going to be crazy. But anyway, that's all fired up. Well, it's all connected, it's not fired up yet. Really nervous to fire it up, but hey, let's give it a go. I hope it doesn't blow up. So we're all connected, and just confirmation that we are running off the card that I just tried to fix. We've only got one display running, the Mac Pro, and you can see the back of the Mac Pro there. You can just about see one empty DVI slot, and I'm borrowing that DVI cable for that monitor to plug into the back of the Mac there. Okay, guys, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I believe the Leopard disc is still in the optical drive. Really nervous. Do you know what takes the piss is the fact that that looks pretty much exactly the same as it did before. There isn't even a slight bit of improvement. If anything, it's slightly worse maybe. Great. Well, this hasn't been very fun, has it? Let's face it. Hello everyone, I know I look horrendous. I was camping last night, camped with a few people, and it was soaking wet. The tent got absolutely soaking, everything got soaking and manky and everything. So it's now Friday, so a while. When did I post the upgrade? Tuesday morning I posted part 1. No, Wednesday morning or whatever it was. But anyway, it's Friday, and I haven't touched the G4, but I've got a little tiny thing to do to it today that I could. I need to flash the 7800 GS because there's no way that X800 is going to work. So I'll do that, but to be honest with you, it's absolutely tipping down with rain outside. It's horrible weather, it's cold, it's disgusting, and I just have no drive to flash it now. I just can't be bothered. I would flash it if it wasn't for the taping of the pins. Like, I'd flash it right now on my PC. If it was just a software thing, I'd happily just stick it in and flash it, but I just can't be bothered to tape up the pins because, as you guys know, like I said earlier, my eyesight is terrible, and it's gonna take massive amounts of concentration for me to tape those pins and be able to see them and everything. So that's something that I'll do in a few days. So yeah, sorry about the length of time that this upgrade is taking, guys, but we ran into a major hiccup. This machine won't function without a high-end graphics card. Well, high-end graphics card for a PowerMac anyway. I can't run the titanium for 2 weeks. It's not gonna happen. So yeah, I guess I'll give you an update soon. So it's Monday the 20th, a long time since the last time I updated you. We're still on part 2 of the upgrade. Really sorry, I was hoping to get it up maybe 4 or 5 days after part 1, but it looks like it's going to be about a week, maybe even a bit longer. But check this out, guys. The colour's a bit off on the camera, but I have 2 new SATA cables here. So the cool thing is, I've got the SATA cables. So there's another surprise cable-wise in the MDD as well. So that means that I can then, where have they gone? There they are. Use my green cable ties to tidy everything up. So I'm going to open up the MDD, show you the existing surprise in there, and then shove these in and see what it looks like. So here it is, guys. We have a black individually sleeved Molex extension cable for the video card. The video card's broken, but hey, at least we've got an awesome cable. I'll talk about the video card situation in a minute, face to face with the camera. But yeah, there's that black extension cable. I need to hide the Molex cables a bit more, but lovely upgrade from this. This just looks minging in comparison to this. And then, of course, we don't need this blue SATA cable anymore. So we're going to be installing our new posh-looking green one. So that's going to look really nice. I can save this for something else I've got in mind. So let's get the green ones out and see what they look like. Check this out, guys. Really nice SATA cable. It's coming out really, really nice on in real life, sorry, but not so great on the camera. But this is green UV, and it's got right angles for the side of the drives and straight for the side of the SATA card. So that's what that looks like, and I've got some green cable ties to go with it. So I'm gonna wire up. Let's see what it looks like, guys. So after 5 minutes of some careful cable work, this is what it looks like. Absolutely gorgeous. Loving it. The cables come out of here, cable tied, keeping them together nicely along there and into the drives. There they are, plugged in. Everything looking good. Door closing pretty well considering the fact that that cable's bulging there. Here's a closer look at the cable for the graphics card. Very nice. That's looking good. Another update that I have to give you guys is I have ordered and received a new battery. So I'll be replacing this one because the clock is losing time, so that's awesome. Really looking forward to shoving that in because it solves a lot of problems. And also, from a really good friend of mine down the road, we have a hard drive enclosure with the 4 screws for adding an additional hard drive, so that's really good. I may put that back there, and well, I'm definitely going to put it back there, and possibly I'm going to add in the 250 gig IDE drives because it would be nice to have more storage in here. So that's it for upgrades for now. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the graphics card, so I'm going to update you guys on that soon. Right now I've got to go back to work in about 45 minutes, so I'm going to go get some food and stuff like that, and yeah, hopefully update you on this tomorrow. I'd like to get the video out tomorrow if possible. So it's Friday morning, August 21st, something like that. And yeah, check out what we're doing today. There's my little PC, guys. And you can see We have the 7800 GS installed in the slot, still there from when I tested it months ago. So what we're going to do is flash it. Now, I thought we'd make, I saw bits and bobs all over my floor still from yesterday. I thought we'd make it entertaining, and I am going to use floppy disks to do it, okay? I should be able to do it with 2 floppy disks. So this computer, luckily, has a floppy disk drive. So I know exactly where I stand. It is all connected and everything. If it doesn't work, I do have spare floppy disk drives. But when I flash this card, I'm going to attempt to use, for display purposes, I'm going to attempt to use the integrated graphics. A couple of people have told me that that doesn't work. You can't flash a card using integrated graphics. But on the guide that I've seen online, it says you need either integrated graphics or a PCI graphics card. If integrated graphics don't work on here, I'm going to put in a PCI graphics card because I've got one somewhere. And if the worst comes to the worst, I can just steal one from... No, I can't actually, because I need an old school PCI graphics card. Like the regular PCI. The one I've got downstairs is like PCIe 16X graphics card. But anyway, that's just basically what's happening at the moment. Yeah, I'm not even powered up or anything. My Mac Pro isn't powered up, so that's pretty decent. I'm going to plug the VGA in for this. I also... random pair of socks. I also needed this. This is a PS2 keyboard that's from Mum and Dad's old computer. The reason I needed the PS2 one is because this computer simply refuses to work with a USB one for some reason. Hopefully it's going to work with a USB mouse, but I've got a feeling that if it doesn't, I've got a spare PS2 mouse. A mouse isn't essential anyway. I can probably blag my way around Windows with keyboard shortcuts enough to be able to erase the floppy disks, but maybe not. So, very exciting stuff. Check this out, guys. Memory foam pillow. Leah got it for me. It's absolutely wicked. It's just unpoofing now for the first time. This is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward. She's got one and it's like proper luxury one when I have a go. So, looking forward to it. But anyway, yeah, better set all this stuff up. So, bear with me, guys. I'll just plug everything in and then we'll fire it up into Windows. After what can only be described as causing complete carnage in my drawer. Better push that in a bit because it looks as if it's just about to drop off. I managed to locate a PS2 mouse. So, let's fire up the monitor, switch on the switch, and damn. Wow, that was a very loud and piercing beep. Let's switch this over to VGA to see if it's actually booting, and if it is booting, I'll just unplug the speaker or jab a hole through it or something. Let's try again. Damn. Right, I'm going to have a little look. Problem solved. The only slight problem we have now is it is booting, but we have nothing on the screen. So what I'm going to have to do, I think, is plug into the graphics card and jump in the BIOS and make sure that the computer boots into the integrated graphics. If I can get the VGA cable plugged in. There we go. Yeah, we're outputting from the card at the moment. So we're going to restart the computer. If I can locate the restart button. Logging off. Look at that wonderful resolution, guys. Let's just shift the entire PC over a bit. Lovely looking card. That fan noise isn't the card, it's the CPU heatsink. Right then, delete. Here we go. Right, luckily my keyboard's working, so I'm going to go through the BIOS and set everything appropriately. So give me a second, guys, because I can't do two things at once. It's confusing. Quick update for you all. I could not get this computer to even display from integrated graphics. So it didn't even show up in the BIOS. All that showed up was AGP and PCI. I even tried setting it to PCI in case it used like the same thingy-wodge. So that was failing, and that doesn't matter because I have this machine. And you guys haven't seen this yet. I got it very recently from a really good friend of mine that lives just down the road. And I'm just going to show you the back of it. Here's the AGP card, but there's also integrated graphics. And I know for a fact that the integrated graphics work on this PC because he was using them up until not too long ago. Whoops. So I'm going to take out the 7800GS from this computer, get this one out of the way, stick the 7800GS in there, and get this rock and rolling. But the only downside is, I think there's a password to this BIOS, so I hope it boots from floppy. If it doesn't, I'm going to be annoyed. So, let's give it a go. Here's the inside of this system, looking good. Here's the GeForce 6600 or whatever it is that I took out of here. Not a bad little card. And here's my 7800GS that I'm going to stick in. This floppy drive isn't actually connected, so I need to find, well, floppy power isn't an issue, but there doesn't appear to be a floppy data cable in here, so I'll just grab one out of another PC. But first, I'm going to go grab some lunch because I'm starving and it's a mess in here. So I'm back. I had to take the hard drive cage out. This, in fact, has an Apple branded hard drive in it from a PowerMac. I'm going to be putting this in Leah's Mac soon, guys. I actually gave this to my mate, and he was having troubles with his hard drive, so that's why that's in there. Here's the floppy disk drive, looking good. I had to take out the cage so that I could get at the floppy disk port, which I have done. So I've put a floppy disk cable in there now. That should be fine. And here's the ID cable, and this should be rock and roll from here on in. Check that out, guys. All in and ready to be flashed. Floppy drive connected, hard drive connected, sorted. Now then, let's make sure none of these things are dangling in the heatsink, and let's plug it in. Get this pile of junk out the way. Just yanked out the CMOS battery so that the computer forgets the BIOS password, hopefully, with a bit of luck anyway. I'm not holding out much hope though, because I think the integrated graphics on the motherboard are AGP anyway, so if you plug in an AGP card, it just like takes over from the integrated graphics, so you can't use them. So I'm gonna have to get a PCI graphics card, which is gonna further delay this upgrade video by miles because I'll have to wait for it to arrive. I've just looked at all my graphics cards. That's AGP, that's AGP, and that's AJP. How many times did I say AJP there? AGP. I'm really like flustered at the moment. Right, I'm gonna stick this AGP card back in and see where we go from there. Well, guys, I am an idiot. I guess it's right. When you are using integrated graphics on these older AGP machines, that is AGP. So when you plug in the AGP card, you can't access integrated graphics. Therefore, the only way you can display onto the screen is with the AGP card, unless you're fortunate enough to own a legacy PCI video adapter, which I do own, but it only works on OS X. And it only works in PowerMac. It does not work on this PC, and believe me, I've tried. So that's very annoying because I'm going to have to majorly delay in upgrading this Mac. So what I'm going to do, guys, is this is part 2. This is the end to part 2. I'm going to upload this, and then there will be a part 3. That will be the flashing of the 7800GS once I've got my hands on a PCI card. But that is going to take a while because I'm going to have to buy it from an independent eBay seller, used, because I have next to no money. And it's going to take a while to get here because
they're not a company, so they're not going to just ship it out the same day, and it's not going to be really quick, so it could take a week to get here maybe. So I'll try my hardest to get my hands on something as quick as I can, but today is Tuesday the 21st. Let me just check that. I want to keep you guys fully updated as to, you know, what the heck's going on. Yeah, it's the 21st today, and hopefully I'll be flashing this card sometime this weekend, this Saturday or this Sunday or something like that. So thank you all for watching part 2. It's been a roller coaster ride. Basically the whole video is comprised of me trying to get a video card working for the G4. I've tried my hardest, and yeah, now I need to resort to buying yet another video adapter to try and flash the 7800 GS. I'll also look on eBay to see if there's any amazing deals on any pre-flashed video cards for the G4, but I doubt there are, because everyone wants them and they just sell really well. Sorry about the noise of the Hoover outside, by the way, guys. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. It's been a roller coaster ride. I'm going to tidy up my room now and get editing this video for you guys to enjoy. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 3 of the PowerMac G4 upgrade.